Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will feature one of the guys I admire. I like him a lot. His name is Glenn Greenwald, and he's very smart, very balanced. He's the one that was involved with Snowden. What's his name? I always forget his Edward Snowden. He was the one who traveled to Hong Kong and interviewed him and broke the news about Snowden and the NSA. This is the guy right here. So I'm going to feature about 40 seconds, 50 seconds of this segment of this podcast that he had a few days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, about Elon Musk, when he said to the advertisers, yourselves, if you don't want to advertise, don't advertise. And he is a liberal, Glenn. He is a homosexual. He lives in Brazil with his boyfriend. I don't know if they're married or not. I don't know, they have some children over there, some dogs, whatever they got. I like him not for that. I like him for what he says and how he got balls. And he's Jewish. All right, so he's gonna talk in this. He's got 15 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm gonna play, as I said, about 50 seconds, where he's gonna talk about the advertisers in the U.S., how they operate and how they censor. As I said, how they censor. But he is an English-speaking guy, so he's gonna do it. He was involved in this. He knows. He's an insider. Used to be. And he's going to explain in this video, if you want to watch his 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes, he's going to talk about who are these companies, the mainstream media companies, hiring, what kind of people they hire for the positions of, let's say, Hannity or other people that shape opinions, or Joy Reid or other people like that. So please listen to him. You don't have to agree with that. I am 100% agreeing with him, just so you know, in this matter and in many, many, many others. He used to be a guest at Tucker Carlson. Remember, this guy is a leftist. Showed up at Tucker, and they had, common sense. They reached some, things that they were together agreeing on issue. Why? Because he is also afraid of what's going on, saying these guys on the left went too far. And it's not about left and right anymore here. It's about the tyrants and the rest of us. So listen to this. I like it so far.
X. And so when corporate advertisers threaten to leave the platform in protest of political speech that's being permitted, what they're trying to do is use their corporate power to censor, saying, we're not going to support you unless you agree to censor this material with which we don't want to be associated. It's a very serious form of corporate censorship. It places meaningful and severe limits.
He's going to give his life experience, where he worked at Substack or whatever he worked. He worked at The Guardian, I think. So he's going to give you examples how he started, how he was able to impose a kind of autonomy on whatever he can publish or talk about. And that was respected until the last one. And when he said, you know what, bye-bye, I'm out.
On the kinds of things journalists can do. Now, journalists themselves will insist that they never think about this. They don't ever get told, oh, you can't say this because our corporate advertisers won't like it. But it doesn't even matter if that's true, because the kind of person that gets hired and that works their way up in corporate media are the kind of people who are inoffensive generally to corporate advertisers. They just set the limits on not just the kind of things people can say once you work there, but the kind of people who they can even hire, are willing to hire and give a platform to. And that's a serious threat to X, which has struggled in all sorts of ways since Elon Musk purchased it, and well before that as well, financially.
So this is his little part regarding the he talks about advertisers more, but I don't want to bother you with that. So go in, you can read whatever the title of his video is. Let me see. And he's got 2 days ago. So first time when I heard in America, when you come to America, United States of America, at least in my position and many others, we don't have a lot of information regarding United States of America. The public relations was the Hollywood and the news and so on, which is, oh my God, is fantastic, which is compared with most places on this planet. And I would say, depending on your preference, for me, it is the best. It is. I have to admit it. Why do I criticize this? Because I want it better. And I want it not better. I want it back at least where it was in the 1960s, 50s, together with many other things. You know, I'm not saying that I'm rolling back the time and get people in shackles or something. So let's don't turn full retard here. Okay. So what's going on here? So he's first time when I came here, I came with a certain idea. Oh my God. And little by little I found out, well, it's not so. It's a lot of things are going down, and I picked a little bit of being upset, depressed. Okay, but nevertheless, I listened to a guy. His name is, I can't give you more than this because it's very politically incorrect. The guy, William, Dr. William. Okay, that's all you need to know. And he died almost, oh my God, 20 years ago? 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. So I've been listening to this guy then, and he was the first one telling me, not directly, through his podcast at that time, not internet, radio. He talked about an interview when someone from New York Times or Washington Post, or whatever it was, I can't remember, the one of the mainstream newspapers came to interview him. And then he speaks in his little audio, speaks about, he used to broadcast those things on the radio, if you can imagine, that time, 20 years ago and more. So he's talked about what kind of people, the interviewers, the media people these guys hire. And he told about the psychology and how this guy, he said, I can go through her thick skull, anything, because she was like brainwashed, or he said, that's the way she came out of college. It was a young woman. Not that it was a woman, it doesn't really matter, but he said, fresh from the college. The guy is William is a doctor. So anyway, again, first time when he spoke about that, and you listen to the guy, and he's saying certain things that you're like, okay. But now you hear this one after 20 years of listening to that. I listened to Glenn Greenwald, who was involved in this, saying almost the same thing. People come and they're hired based on, inoffensive to the advertisers and so on. He speaks more about this issue. I'm talking about Glenn in this little podcast that he has. Sometimes I listen to it, and whenever he's interviewed by Tucker, he shows up at Tucker Carlson, I listen because he's very intelligent, very logical, objective. I haven't heard him, sometimes when you hear someone, like for instance, Ben Shapiro. I listened to him a while ago, but I picked up that he's got two areas where he becomes illogical, I have to say it, and becomes subjective, and he is not using facts. No, facts don't care about your feelings. In those two subjects, facts did not matter. Feelings matter more. He was saying things that did not really have any, not using evidence, evidence-based argument. And that was Putin, whenever he spoke about Putin, or Russia, Putin and Russia, and then Israel. He lost all credibility for me because I was like, no, you're so logical in many other aspects, but then when it's about those two subjects, you lose everything. So I couldn't listen to him anymore. And I stopped. I listen to him now when he came regarding the Israel and so on. And yes, he just confirmed what I knew. So this guy right here, or sometimes you speak with someone very, very logical, and then you get to religion. When you get to religion, you lost that person. You think, how in the hell? He's going to tell you that, Noah lived until he was 90 years old. And yes, he built the ark when he was about 600 years old. And you're like, what's going on here? You switch to, what's going on? But this guy, never. I don't remember, right now, I don't remember any time when he lost it, like got on low gas or oil, losing oil, or going on this, like we say in Romanian, o luat-o pe arătură, or n-are ulei, s-a terminat uleiul sau ceva de genul ăsta, or something like this. You're low on oil, or ai luat-o pe ulei, that's the expression. You took it on oil, or you took it on the, how do you call it, on the field, instead of going on the, you just, ai luat-o pe arătură. The same here. Never heard this guy. So he's still out there for me. I like him. I like him very much. I like many that are out there, but anyway, this is it, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.